Okay, what is health education to me? I think that health education has always been something that I'm super interested in. I think a lot of it in the beginning had a lot to do with me just wanting to know something that people didn't really know about. I feel like growing up, like in middle school, elementary, even in high school, we didn't really talk about health. It was just like the basics like math, reading, science, and like history and things like that. I didn't really feel like we hit, even in science, I didn't really feel like we hit topics about health. Um, my grandma was a nurse and my sister in law was a nurse, so I feel like I was always interested in that field, but I feel like it took me a really long time to decide to do nursing. Um, my siblings were always like art, music, business, and I didn't really thrive in those areas, and I just really struggled to find what I wanted to do. But then like throughout the years, I feel like I growing up was like in and out of hospitals, like whether it be like family or friends, like and whether it was good or bad, like whether it was like new babies into the family or surgeries or sickness. I feel like I really did go into hospitals a lot or clinics and things like that. So I feel like I was exposed to it at an early age. Um, and that was definitely the foundation of why I decided to do what I did. Like, I really saw the importance of health and health care, like, not only you personally at home, how you take care of yourself, but also after the fact, like an illness happens, like how important it is to follow up with your doctor or specialist or get the help that you can get. It's kind of funny because personally, I don't really like to go to the doctors or, um, like checkups or medicines, prescriptions, things like that. But I do think that they're important. It's not that I'm against them, but I just have never really liked to do that. I do like holistic medicines and like remedies and things like that, but I do feel like there are some things that are almost not able to be fixed with just like holistic remedies and things like that. I think that to me, growing up, I wasn't really educated in this field as well. So I feel like looking at my life now and like sicknesses that I've gotten, like I feel like if I would have been educated in it at earlier times, um, it would have been just, I don't know, helpful in my life and just seeing how it just could have made a difference in how my life like unraveled. Which brings me to my next one. Like I chose nursing because actually originally my degree was health studies. And then as I got more experience in the hospital and just like the clinical setting, I realized that I wanted to be more hands-on and more like one-on-one with my patients. Not saying that you can't do that in health studies, but this is just something that I discovered and I realized that I wanted to do. And so I did decide to do nursing in the end, but I didn't want to lose health studies like in all. I had already like invested quite a bit of time in it. So I decided to keep it as a minor, and I feel like I'm really happy that I did because not only do I want to work in a hospital, but I also want to be able to work in like just certain things in the community, like service projects for like like young ladies. Like that's why when we actually did that assignment about the case study, I was like really passionate about it because I want to be in women's health, and my goal is to eventually be in like obstetrics and gynecology or labor and delivery. That's where my passion lies. Like that's where I want to end up. And so I also want to do things in the community for younger ladies, like to teach them about like the anatomy of the female body, like safe sex practices, being healthy as like as a female. I'm not saying that I don't want to work in males, but that's just where my passion lies. Where I would like to concentrate in. I really want to be able to work in like lower socioeconomic, like Hispanic communities, because I know that it's like kind of taboo in the Hispanic communities to talk about like, those kinds of things, and it's not really talked about. And I feel like it's pretty important to be able to share these kinds of things and like educate on these kinds of topics because it's so important in life. Like it's just something that it's not avoidable. So I feel like there's just a lot that really just brings me to my reasoning of why I did it. Nursing school is not easy at all. Like it's probably like the hardest thing I've ever done, but it's really rewarding. Like I've learned so many things that I would have never thought that I learned, and it really makes me excited because I know that not a lot of people are educated in these kinds of things, and I would love to be able to be a vessel to the community and like show people the importance about being educated in health and personally and in community. Like there's just so much to it that I feel like is important, and I'm really glad to be able to eventually, when I graduate, be able to spread, I guess, awareness on how important it is and just to be knowledgeable on basics and things that are important to you. I just there's just so many things, so many topics in health that I feel like are very important and will be beneficial once they're taught to the people, and that's why I'm so passionate about this subject, and that's why I decided to be in this field.